Blessed day to you, all my sports to the bone people. Welcome back to another video. Thank you all for checking this one out. All right, my viewers and subscribers. So we all know that Test cricket is going downhill. But how do you know when it's getting from bad to worse? Well, it's when the Australians start to come up with ways how other teams can improve their Test cricket. What other teams need to do to make sure that they save that format of the cricket. We're going to talk about it. I was watching the Pakistan versus Australia Test game last night, and the commentators, they spent close to 10 minutes talking about different ways that teams and different things that teams can do to make sure that their Test cricket improves, so the top teams that are actually playing Test cricket can have people to play with. Going to talk about it. Plus, we also see where Nasser Hussain was talking about the T20 World Cup, and he chose the team that he thinks will win. Actually didn't go with West Indies. He said that West Indies team is looking good, but he's not going with them to win. So going to talk about all of that. Just give a listening ear until the end and let me know what you all think in the comment section. All right, so let us start by talking some Test cricket. So I was watching that second Test match there between Pakistan and Australia. They had day one last night. And while the game was going on, a couple of former Australian cricketers were on commentary. I think I heard Mike Hussey and Kerry O'Keefe and a few others. And they were basically brainstorming and talking about how, or what teams can do to make sure that they continue to produce good Test cricketers. You understand? I even heard them giving props to Pakistan, saying that that's a team they would pay to watch play Test cricket. So they would pay to watch the Pakistan players play Test cricket. They were also talking about how ICC need to find a way to make sure that the full member teams are still playing enough cricket. They went as far as to highlight the fact that Pakistan played only 5 Test matches last year. And, they said that Australia played all of 13. You understand? So this is something that we would have discussed on here before, that when you have a team playing only 4 or 5 Test matches for the year, you cannot expect, and remember they get paid a certain amount of money based on the games that they are playing. You can't really expect people going to only settle for that when they have families to feed. So they were saying that ICC needs to find a way, and he was saying that there's no way teams are going to be able to improve when they are only playing 3 or 4 tests for the year. And these are things that affected people have been saying for years. People in the Caribbean. But all of a sudden now, when it seems as if the top teams will not be getting enough teams to play Test cricket, everybody have a solution. Everybody start talking about how teams cannot play 2 and 3 Test matches or 4 Test matches for the year and continue to improve. I am not saying they are wrong, they are definitely right. It's difficult to have a team playing only 4 Test matches and you want that format to grow or to improve. It's not going to really happen. They were even talking about players pumping money back into it, saying players that would have, from especially some of the top teams that are making good money, they can pump back money into Test cricket to make sure that the wheels keep turning, because according to them, you want to make sure that you are playing competitive cricket. So when you go up against different teams, you want to make sure that those teams are actually equipped and ready to play Test cricket. And I'm like, this is something that they could have said 10-15 years ago. Well, not even 10-15 years ago, 10 years ago at least. You understand? But let us see. I think the straw that is breaking the camel's back now is the fact that South Africa would have indicated that, listen, we can't afford to pay all of these players a certain amount of money, so we're sending 7 uncapped players to go and play that Test series there in New Zealand. while the other players will, the senior players will stay here and play some T20 cricket to make some money. You know, so when they see these sort of things, some of the English people and the Australian people, they start to frown, and you know, they notice that that would be another test team that would be drifting away. We see West Indies already drifting, so that would mean South Africa would be drifting. You know, they spoke about the T20 league that is playing in South Africa, though. You know, saying that it's good that players are playing some T20 cricket, but you know, it's really something else, my viewers and subscribers. But according to them, something needs to be done quickly. Something needs to be done now to make sure that teams are actually still interested. And according to them, one way to do that is to try and find a way to get the top players or the top performing teams to pump back some money in the in test cricket to see if they can keep the wheels turning and thing. But it was refreshing hearing the Australians admitting and saying that it's way difficult to have one team playing 4 test matches for the year and or 5, and another team playing 13. Having said that, we understand that you know, ICC, well, they start the whole thing, but they're not going to award a lot of test cricket to some countries because of the crowd. They're not going to be able to pull a certain amount of crowd. Plus, you know, you have to remember about television rights and how they can make their money, and you know, all of them sort of things you have to think about. So we know those are things that you have to think about, but you know, they are the one that catch up the fire underneath the pot, so they need to throw some water in it now, so to speak. ICC, that is. But as I said, it was refreshing to hear the former Australian players saying that it is really hampering other teams when you have top teams playing 13, 14 tests for the year and other teams playing only 4 or 5. You understand? It doesn't really make much sense. You know, so they have to, at least they're looking at it from that perspective and saying that's why some of the players are not really turning out. So let me know what you all think about that. Talking about South Africa there, Nasser Hussain, the commentator, he was talking about the T20 World Cup that is coming up, and he has South Africa to go ahead and nip it. Yes, he has South Africa winning. He actually named West Indies as a team that is doing well, a team that is doing good. But according to him, the West Indies team won't go all the way. South Africa is the team to get. He was also saying that Pakistan, they are playing some good white ball cricket also, so they could probably get it. But he attributed the South Africans, the South Africa teams, great improvement to their T20 league that they are playing over there now. Remember, a lot of their players are being exposed to that T20 league, but it's the same T20 league that is preventing some of the top players from going out to play test cricket. As I said, they're sending a bunch of youngsters to New Zealand. So yeah, that is pretty much it, my viewers and subscribers, for this one. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. Also, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. If you have not yet subscribed, leave a like and share the video with someone. Big up.